On this week's show, Jeff and Ann take a look at various options in buying a camping or travel trailer. Also, Jeff shows us a safe and handy way to build and maintain that campfire. And Britta goes Asian on us with an albacore tuna and a curry sauce. All this and more on this week's Rolling On TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Jayco. At Jayco, we've been making family dreams come true since 1968.
Even though motorhomes are really popular nowadays, the #1 selling type of RV is still a trailer.
And there's a good reason for that. Trailers are available in all sizes and price ranges, and so there's one for every need.
Now, my wife Pam and I, for example, there's only 2 of us. We don't have any kids along, so we really like the small, lightweight travel trailers. The ultralights, as they're called, as a class. And ultralights have a lot to offer. They're compact, they're easy to tow, easy to store, they're completely self-contained. They have everything inside of them that gives you comfortable living in the woods, so to speak, but they're just very small compared to your average trailer.
Now, these seem a little bit, how does that work for you?
A little short?
Yeah.
Well, I have to hunker down a little bit inside. I mean, they're made more for people your size, obviously, or average. But the fact is that the rest of the inside is just fine. The beds are long enough. The bathrooms are, a little snug in the shower. The kitchen is just fine. I can sit in the dinettes. So it makes it fully functional, even though it's small and I'm kind of big. But Kip Shields, one of the George Sutton salesmen, is here to tell us all about one of the more popular ultralight models today. It's also one of the more interesting looking ones.
You'll have on the Hood River Edition the off-road tires with aluminum wheels, independent torsion axle for better stabilization. You'll also have, the main feature here is going to be a one-piece seamless fiberglass roof all the way around. It does wonders for the rain here in the Pacific Northwest. So inside here of the R-Pod, you have a fixed bed along with your entertainment center with a flip-down screen, AM/FM radio. You have a small slide out for something about 20 feet that's 2,800 pounds. Slide out is very important. You have more counter space, more interior room. Inside here you have a convection microwave, your 3-way refrigerator, 2-burner stove, sink with hot water heater, direct spark ignition. You also have your wet bath with toilet, shower, and sink. Nice large U-shaped dinette in the front here, which it's a 2-person trailer, but enough to fit 4 comfortably. You'll have your air conditioner, your furnace, everything that a conventional travel trailer will have in a small 20-foot lightweight towable.
Well, that little R-Pod that Kip showed us is a really cool little trailer. Has a lot of bang for the buck, packs a lot of features into a small space.
True. But while you might not mind backing yourself into that little space, I have a full-size family with 3 camping age kids, and we need a full-size trailer.
Like
especially, yes, especially if we are inside. If the weather turns bad, we need a little more elbow room.
Oh boy, yeah, you can kill each other if it's a bad weekend at the coast.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I understand you do a lot of dry camping or boondocking too.
We do, and for that we need extra storage tanks, we need room for our gear, we need more room for sleeping, and just all around more resources with us.
Yeah, okay, well that's what you'll find in a full-size travel trailer like this. Takes a little bit larger vehicle to tow.
Right. Typically,
in a lot of cases, a half-ton pickup. You've got an older 3/4 ton, if I remember right, with a big V8,
Yep.
So
Plenty
you can
of
handle something like this pretty easily. And the travel trailer like this probably is about as close to a generic RV as you'll find. There's more of these things sold and popular today than just about any other type of RV.
Definitely suit our needs.
Salesman Terry Teesfield is here to show us through one of the more popular models of trailer available today. It has all the features of a typical travel trailer that a larger family group might like to use.
Yep.
You'll notice everything's trimmed in black with the very attractive metallic finished fiberglass side. It is an aluminum frame coach with block foam insulation and fiberglass exterior. This model features a front bedroom with a slide out over here, the nice deep slide, your sofa and your dinette are in it. And the kitchen here is slid out also. And always we need plenty of counter space. So notice all what we have here, plus behind me here. Storage is also a big thing. You have a very nice pantry area. You also have plenty of drawers here in the kitchen. They slide out nice and easy. They are on ball bearing drawer guides. The bathroom in this unit is very large, very easy to use. There's a lot of counter space in there and a big sink also, and it also has a glass shower enclosure. The dinette and sofa do both fold into beds, and so you can have the family in here, or the grandkids, and all be very comfortable. And forward of me here is the bedroom in this trailer. It is a walk-around island queen bed. You can get all the way around it. It has a nice pocket door that comes there for nice privacy.
Travel trailers are really wonderful, but Jeff and I both agree, for the ultimate in luxury and comfort, it's so hard to beat the high-end fifth wheel.
It takes a good-sized truck to haul one of these things. You need a big pickup with the proper safety and hitch equipment in order to get one of these things down the road. Once you're there, of course, you enjoy the ultimate in luxury living and appointments.
And a really nice kitchen.
Well, yes, a nice kitchen too.
We'll get back to Jeff and Ann right after this break. It all starts with pride and ends up being the gold standard in pop-up truck campers. Four-wheel campers. Need we say more? See for yourself by visiting fourwheelcampers.com. Is your pop-up camper canvas getting a little worse for wear? Don't fret. Just call the friendly folks at Canvas Replacements, and their experienced staff will cut and sew you up a new one in no time. Canvas Replacements, your #1 source for all your pop-up camper canvas needs. For more information, visit the company website at canvasreplacements.com or call them at 800-232-2079. And now, let's get back to Jeff and Ann as they look at more trailer options.
We've covered a few details about the ultralight and travel trailer class RVs. Now we'll whet your appetite for adventure even further with a look at a luxury level high-end fifth wheel trailer. Redwood RV National Sales Manager Jeff Howard is going to give us a walkthrough on one of these big guys, show you a little bit about what you get in a big fifth wheel trailer.
It's a true residential fifth wheel. You know, you get a lot of nice features like frameless windows. This has our optional full body paint inside the Redwood here. You know, I want to talk a little bit, some of the most important things you can provide full-timers in a fifth wheel is function, storage, comfort. You know, things like the Diamond Wood Furniture Collection from a company called Williamsburg. All of this furniture is actually residential furniture, not RV. So box springs on your bed like you'd expect at home. Also, you know, things like a 55-inch LED TV in here. Pantries that are enormous, floor to ceiling with pull-out drawers. You know, the dinette table is a wall mount table, so you're not going to have a pedestal or bump knees or knock toes. When we step up into the bedroom, our Diva closet is the largest wardrobe closet you'll find out there in the industry. Enormous amounts of space. They're all one-piece shower enclosures, solid surface sinks. In here we also have our optional quartz countertops, you know, providing function because that's really what's important to a lot of owners.
Well, that Redwood trailer was really something else. Most people come shopping and they have kind of an idea what size trailer they want, but there's so many options available. The difficult part comes down to the shopping and making a decision.
Yep, no kidding. I think I'm going to bring the family down and have to take a look.
Great idea. Well, you wander on down to your local dealership. You never know what you might be able to find.
And for more information on these and other trailers, log on to rollinontv.com.
Exciting, great things do come in small packages, like exceptional quality, extreme comfort, and luxurious appointments. You'll find all this and more wrapped up in one beautiful package. The Pleasureway Pursuit. See for yourself by visiting pleasureway.com.
Weight distribution comes out of the Stone Age. Steel on steel friction is 50 years old. The Sway Pro makes other weight distributing hitches seem, well, prehistoric. The Sway Pro features a softer ride, built-in optimized sway prevention, quiet backing and turning, and little maintenance. Finally, intelligent engineering gives you a much better way to prevent sway and smooth your ride. Why trust an amateur when you can go with a pro? Sway Pro.
At campgrounds all across America, next to campfires, very much like this one, an awful lot of people are doing this.
It's so good.
You don't have to be a perfectionist to want your campfire to be just right. Get those logs in the right place. It can be aesthetically pleasing as well as providing better heat for cooking and so on. Well, we ran across a really interesting little tool here that might be just what you need. It's called the fire stick. It's made out of stainless steel, got a couple of handles on it, has an outside shaft sliding on an inner one. The important thing is, it's a tip. These cast metal jaws which allow you to reach into the fire, grab onto the log, and position it exactly like you want it every time. In addition, there's a little hole in the tip, and if you have to get the fire a little bit of a boost, you can put the tip down in the fire, breathe into the end, and put the air for blowing in the fire exactly where you want it, so you don't need to put your face down in there and wind up singeing your eyebrows off. It's a pretty interesting little tool. We'll show you how it works. The fire stick enables you to move firewood, large and small, exactly where you want it.
Okay, and we're ready to set the front end up.
It's long enough to help you avoid getting uncomfortably close to the heat of the flames or coals. Lori demonstrates how even a fairly large log can be handled by the fire stick. Our fire was burning nicely, but Jake tried out the air blowing feature. This also worked well when we started the fire earlier on. The tangs on the back of the jaws can be used to lift a cookpot from the fire, for example, or they can serve as a simple hook for placing a Dutch oven on the fire grate.
No, that's not.
Next, you can use the fire stick to pick coals from the fire and place them on the Dutch oven lid. This handy device has a multitude of uses around your campfire. You can almost smell that tri-tip potatoes and onions cooking already. For more information about the fire stick, log on to our website at rollinontv.com. Today's viewer mail covers a subject that's near and dear to most RVers' hearts, their tires. And it goes something like this. Dear Jeff, my favorite RV dealer tells me that even though my tires aren't worn out, I need to replace them because they're too old. Is that right? Can a tire in good condition be too old to use? Well, believe it or not, yes, they're right. A tire, even if it has tread left on it, can be past its useful lifespan. There are all kinds of environmental factors that affect tires. Ozone in the air, ultraviolet light from the sun, and age. Tire rubber simply dries out, and as it dries out, it's more prone to cracking and tread separation and so on, or major carcass failures, and none of these, of course, are a good thing. Now, tire manufacturers generally recommend somewhere between 6 and 8 years as the maximum lifespan for a tire. This, of course, varies according to the manufacturer. So the first thing you need to know to find out where you stand on your tires, so to speak, is how old they are. Now, there's all kinds of useful data molded into the tire sidewall. What you want to look for is the information that starts out with a DOT followed by a string of letters and numbers. Once you locate the DOT numbers on the side of the tire, you can get all kinds of information from them. Most important for us, of course, is the date. The first 2 letters, AP, indicate that this tire was made in Ardmore, Oklahoma. You can find a link to a complete list of manufacturing sites on our website at rollinontv.com. And the last 4 digits here, 3604, indicate this tire was built in the 36th week of 2004, which means since this is 2013, this tire is really close to its projected lifespan. Okay, now you know your tire's age. The next thing you need to do is an inspection. And it may look great at arm's length like these do, but you need to get up close and personal to learn the rest of the story. With a close look at the tire carcass, you start to see all kinds of little cracks and crevices here in the sidewall, cracks across the lugs and so forth, back up here between the lugs and even down on the sidewall. This is good indicators that there's something starting to go on with your tread rubber beyond just wearing out. For example, one of the things you can see is this particular crack right here that runs all the way along, and that's kind of right where the cap rubber meets the sidewall rubber. That could indicate separation starting to happen. Well, we hope this has been useful to maybe help you learn a little bit more about your tires and make a little bit better judgment as far as when you have to replace them is concerned. Knowing how to read your tire's age is useful in another way as well. For example, if you go shopping for tires and you visit a tire dealer showroom, you can look at the sidewall on the new tires and figure out exactly how old they are. That's very useful information because it means you don't have to necessarily buy tires that have been sitting in a warehouse someplace for a year or more. You probably wouldn't want to do that. Thanks for watching.
It's time to get those chopsticks out because after the break, Britta cooks up an Asian-inspired tuna dish. At Jayco, we're a lot more than just an RV manufacturer. We're all about family, and we've been making family dreams come true since 1968. To see our complete product line and find your nearest Jayco dealer, visit us online at jayco.com or just log on to rollinontv.com.
Hi, I'm Britta, the Galley Chick, and today I'm going to show you great ways you can make really nice meals using a few super shortcuts. Recently in Portland, a company opened and they're making these awesome packaged meals, and they're beautifully done, really nice ingredients, using sustainable fish, using local resources, and helping the fisheries around us. The other thing is they easily heat up in boiling water, or you can take them out of the package and heat them in a pan, or you can even put the package in a microwave. So a lot of ways to use them. So you may not have fish people in your neck of the woods, but there's probably something you can find to take a little shortcut. So I'm going to show you some great things, some quick little meal ideas to go with it to really make this a really nice meal. I'm going to make a easy Asian coleslaw with just some pantry staples, and then I'm going to also make a nice way to switch up rice and to make it more delicious is to use coconut milk instead of water. And I just use canned coconut milk, the same ratio as you would water. So if you're making a cup of rice, you usually use about a cup and a half of water, just use a cup and a half of coconut milk. That's what I did to make the coconut rice that I'll put this yellow curry tuna on, made with Oregon albacore tuna, a really nice Thai curry sauce. And then one of my favorite things, you probably know this already, is cabbage. So I'm gonna make a coleslaw that's kind of got an Asian bent to it. And in this bowl, I just have chopped up cabbage, some grated carrots, fresh mint, and some cilantro. You could also use basil or green onions or just whatever you have on hand. So that will just get mixed up. And then you can either use rice vinegar, if you have that in your pantry, or any sort of light vinegar. And then, or you could use lime juice. I just happen to have a fresh lime. So I'm just gonna squeeze that on, and this is more about tasting it and seeing what you like. So typically in Thai cuisine, the 4 flavors are tart, being the lime, sweet,
so a little bit of brown sugar, or if you had agave on hand or white sugar, whatever, sprinkle a little bit of that. Salty, and fish sauce is typically the salt used in Thai cooking. But if you don't have fish sauce, just use sauce, or just use salt, rather. So this stuff is pretty potent, so better to use a little bit and then add more. And then the fourth spice is heat. So I'm not going to add any heat in this because this is going to be kind of a refreshing slaw to go with the curry. So then you just mix it up, and it's good if it can sit maybe 10 minutes. So this is a nice quick salad that really brightens the meal and something you can put together in a hurry if you have guests stop by, or all of us tend to be so busy these days that it's nice to have a salad that you can just whip together. And then just taste it and just season it to your taste. A little bit fishy, or salty rather. Gonna add a little bit more lime. And this is also a really healthy salad. So that is the salad. And then the rice is just cooked with coconut milk, so it has a really nice creamy sort of sweet taste to it. And then we'll put this medium spiced coconut yellow curry tuna on top. And these packages are great. You just submerge them for 3 minutes, cut off the top, pour it over, and you have a really beautiful meal that's like you've been working all day, but it's very simple. If you're making a meal, even if it's coming out of a package, and you really want to make it beautiful and you want to enjoy it, then just a little garnish will go such a long way, and people will think you just put a little extra care, and it'll make you feel better about eating it. Even when you're eating alone, I like to garnish my plates, and it's a beautiful piece before you eat it. I'll use the nectarine. You could use mango too. That would be a little more traditional Asian. And then I happen to have this flower from my mint plant, and I just put a little bit of cilantro on top of the curry, and it's on the coconut rice. And this is an albacore tuna. It's a nice big chunk of albacore tuna in a curry sauce. So I'm excited to taste it. This is so awesome. It's really good. I can't wait to try their whole line of other delicious seafood concoctions. And the coconut rice. Just put coconut milk in your rice and you will wow your guests. It's so simple. For all these great recipes and more ideas for small space living, just make sure to follow us online.
For additional information on anything you saw on this week's show, including Berta's recipe, along with additional videos and stories, visit our website at rollingontv.com. For the latest up-to-the-minute RV news, visit our media partners at rvbusiness.com. If you're into RVing or just appreciate vintage vehicles, be sure to set your GPS for the RV/MH Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. This museum houses the largest collection of vintage RVs and trailers dating as far back as 1916. For more information, visit their website at rvmhhalloffame.org.